Oh hey, it's your friend that has tiny wizard hats for each of his toenails, but they all belong to different houses. Back for some more tech tea. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are 4 tech updates to kickstart your week with. Microsoft just launched a powerful new search feature for some PCs this week. Here's what you need to know about it. Last year, Microsoft went all in on its AI Copilot and launched a series of new PCs with what it calls Copilot Plus. One of the features that was unveiled for this new moniker was Recall, an image-based search option where your PC will present you with screenshots of all the things you've done with a certain timeline if you ever want to jump back in where you were yesterday or the day before. The feature was postponed though after some concerns were raised by security researchers. It makes sense since you are basically feeding the model everything you do and touch on your PC every day. Microsoft did say it was going to be restrictive to some apps and websites, but things are still a little spotty on what all that entails. Also, you'd probably have to manually tell it the files you want to block before even opening them up for the first time. Now, it would seem the feature is ready to be rolled out after almost a year of patching and testing these security concerns. The company has also made it so users with Copilot Plus PCs need to opt in prior to them using it, just in case some of you are still just a little uneasy about handling a giant tech company's screenshots on the regular. Personally, I don't think that I could, in good faith, cheat on my FBI buddy Jeffrey, who has already been watching in horror at everything I search on the internet. Hey Jeff. He never responds. The company has also rolled out a couple new features outside Recall, such as including Copilot in your Windows Explorer so you can describe images or pictures you want to access in order to find them. There's also Click to Do, which is very similar to Google's Circle to Search. These features unfortunately are currently only available if you buy a Copilot Plus PC. This might be a time thing, however, if it were, chances are you would still need to have one of the latest Intel or AMD CPUs built with a neural processing unit, or NPU for short, to take advantage of these tricks. Google is ending support for some Nest thermostats this year. Here's what you need to know. Some users this week received an email that their older Nest thermostat would stop getting support in October. The tech giant released an announcement stating that on the 25th of October, it will stop releasing updates to its first and second generation Nest Learning thermostats, and that these devices will no longer be able to be used in Nest and Google Home apps. It's a real bummer since the entire reason you paid upwards of $250 for this device back in like 2011 was for in-app usage and automation, only to have it stripped away. The tech giant added that they're doing this in an effort to fully invest in future advancements and bring us the most cutting-edge features. They are also halting all Nest sales in Europe, stating that their heating systems and the requirements for them are just too challenging to develop software for. It must be akin to rocket science if Google themselves decides that an entire country's HVAC systems are too complicated to engineer around. Currently, even though they are deciding to abandon the owners of these devices, the devices themselves will still be operable after the 25th deadline, so it won't be as nefarious as like Spotify with their car thing users. Oddly enough though, they haven't offered any type of trade-in deals for these users to upgrade yet, but I expect that as we get closer to the deadline, there will be some incentives for upgrades to the newest 4th gen device. One game that was just released has one of the highest Metacritic scores ever. Here's what you need to know. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG which released last Thursday and features beautiful graphics, French-inspired scenes, and decked-out casts. Oh yeah, and a gorgeous score to boot. The story features a set of explorers, hence the Expedition 33 name, where the goal is to set out to reach and defeat the Paintress, who is this giant woman on a faraway island that each year writes a number counting down from 100 on a tower. Every time she does, the citizens of Lumiere perish, Thanos snap style, so it's up to them to find out what really is happening. At the time of writing, the Metacritic user review score sits at 9.7 out of 10, with only 86 of the more than 2,700 reviews being any less than positive. The game also has a 92 Metascore from critics, but it should be noted that it's based on like 63 reviews, which are all 80 and above. The game kicks ass, and as of right now, sits right next to Blueprints for being the highest ranked game of the year by Metascore and user score. It's also such a slap in the face to bigger companies like Square and Enix, which have previously stated that turn-based RPGs are almost impossible to make with the playstyle and graphics of today. And they go as far as saying, while you think you want it, you really don't. But guess what? It's number 4 on Steam's turn-based RPG ranked of all time. Turns out we do. Final Fantasy VII Remake would have slapped so hard if it kept to its roots in this department. Maybe Clair Obscur is the game that finally convinces makers to experiment a little bit more with the past. Either way, those that want to dip their toes in this instant classic can do so on Xbox, PS5, or PC. And as of right now, it is included on Game Pass, so give it a try. And finally, Samsung is starting to roll out its One UI 7 update again after a mysterious halt this month. Here's what you need to know. We're on the cusp of Android 16 being released, and yet a lot of Samsung owners still don't even have Android 15. It's like it's 2016 all over again. The company had started the rollout of its One UI 7 flavored Android 15 update this month after extensive beta testing, but it was abruptly halted after a serious bug was reported in a Korean variant of the software, such that users on S24 series devices couldn't even unlock their phones after installing the update. Because the issue was happening overseas, we believe it was limited to phones equipped with the Exynos, that chip. While Samsung didn't confirm the bug, it also announced the halt and rollback of the update real quick like, so I mean, it didn't really have to either. Now, it would seem this week, the company is planning on unrolling this new version of the update to S24 devices, with the older devices past that being updated within the coming months. This window was pushed back a bit, so there's definitely a likelihood that by the time the update is available to all of the compatible devices, Google will be ready to roll out Android 16 and we have to start this process all over again. I mean, they just announced today that along with Android I/O, they're planning another event. We may still have to wait a little longer for One UI 7, but you won't have to wait for more tech updates. This may be all I have for now, but if you've made it to this part of the video, hit the subscribe button so you never miss a beat. Until then, I will see you back here for some more tech tea.